Let's be honest. We've all had that one classmate. You know the one, the person who seems to get straight A's without even trying, while you're buried under a mountain of highlighters and caffeine, feeling like you're running in place. For the longest time, I thought they were just born different. I thought they had some genius gene that I missed out on. But then I decided to stop complaining and start observing. I spent months researching cognitive psychology, testing every productivity hack under the sun, and transforming my own messy study habits. And what I discovered changed everything. Being the smartest person in the room isn't about your IQ, it's about your strategy. Today, I'm sharing the 10 study secrets that took me from overwhelmed and average to top of the class. These aren't your typical drink water and sit straight tips. These are the psychological shifts and tactical moves that will make you an academic weapon. If you're ready to stop working hard and start working smart, let's dive in. Secret 1, the 80-20 rule. Secret number 1 is the 80-20 rule. Most students spend hours memorizing every single footnote in a textbook. But here is the reality. 80% of your exam marks come from 20% of the material. The smartest students identify that 20% early on. How? Look at past exams. Listen for when your teacher says, "This is important." Focus on the core concepts that everything else connects to. When I started doing this, my study time cut in half, but my grades actually went up. Don't treat every sentence like it's gold. Find the diamonds and master those first. Secret 2, active recall over passive reading. Stop highlighting. Seriously, put the yellow pen down. Highlighting and rereading are passive. They make your brain feel like it's learning because the information looks familiar, but it's not actually sticking. The smartest person in your class uses active recall. This means you close the book and force your brain to retrieve the information from scratch. I used to think I was bad at history until I started using flashcards and blurting. Blurting is when you read a page, close the book, and write down everything you remember on a blank sheet. It's hard, it's frustrating, and that's exactly why it works. If it feels like a workout for your brain, you're doing it right. Secret 3, the Feynman technique. Albert Einstein, or maybe it was Richard Feynman, once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." This is the Feynman technique. Whenever I struggle with a complex math formula or a biology cycle, I imagine I'm explaining it to a 10-year-old. I literally talk out loud in my room. If I hit a spot where I start using smart-sounding jargon to cover up my confusion, I know that's exactly where my knowledge gap is. When you can teach it, you own it. You aren't just memorizing, you're understanding. And understanding is the ultimate shortcut. Secret 4, optimize your dopamine. We need to talk about your phone. You can't become the smartest version of yourself if your brain is fried from scrolling TikTok every 5 minutes. The smartest students protect their focus. I noticed that if I checked my phone first thing in the morning, my brain was scattered all day. Now I practice a low dopamine morning, no social media until my most important task is done. Think of your focus like a battery. Don't waste it on strangers' lives before you've invested in your own future. Deep work is a superpower in a world full of distractions. Secret 5, the power of spaced repetition. Cramming is a lie. You might pass the test, but you'll forget everything 24 hours later. The secret to long-term brilliance is spaced repetition. Instead of studying for 5 hours straight once, study for 30 minutes 5 times over 2 weeks. Your brain needs time to forget a little and then be reminded. This strengthens the neural pathways. I use apps like Anki or Quizlet to automate this. It feels like magic because suddenly things you used to struggle with just become common sense. Secret 6, create a sophisticated study environment. Your environment is a silent teacher. If you study in bed, your brain thinks it's time to sleep. If you study in a messy room, your brain feels chaotic. I turned my desk into a success zone. Clean surfaces, a nice lamp, and maybe a specific playlist. I only use this space for work. After a week, my brain started switching into genius mode the moment I sat down. It's called environmental conditioning. Make your desk a place where the best version of you wants to show up. Secret 7, brain fuel. You are not a machine, you are a biological system. You can't expect 100% output with 20% input. I used to pull all-nighters, thinking I was being dedicated. I was actually being counterproductive. Sleep is when your brain saves what you learned that day. No sleep equals no save. Also, swap the sugary snacks for brain fuel, like walnuts, berries, and lots of water. When I started treating my body like an athlete treats theirs, my mental clarity skyrocketed. You can't outstudy a bad lifestyle. Secret 8. Mentality, the growth mindset. The smartest person in class doesn't say, "I'm bad at math." They say, "I haven't mastered this yet." This is the growth mindset. I used to give up the moment a topic got hard. I thought it meant I wasn't gifted. But then I realized that the feeling of struggle is actually the feeling of your brain growing. Embrace the frustration. The smartest students aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who aren't afraid to look stupid while they learn. Secret 9. The second brain method. Stop trying to remember everything. Your brain is for having ideas, not holding them. The most successful students use a second brain, a digital or physical system where they organize all their notes, thoughts, and deadlines. For me, using Notion changed the game. When your brain knows the information is safe somewhere else, it frees up RAM to actually think and solve problems. Be organized so your mind can be creative. Secret 10. Find your why. The final secret, and honestly the most important one, have a reason that's bigger than a grade. Why do you want to be the smartest? Is it to get into your dream university? To prove someone wrong? To build a life where you have freedom? On the days when I didn't want to get out of bed, my why was what pulled me through. Studying without a purpose is a chore. Studying for a dream is a mission. Find your mission. Becoming the smartest person in your class isn't about competing with the person sitting next to you or being better than anyone else. True intelligence and success are about the quiet, consistent victory of being better than you were yesterday. It is a deeply personal journey of self-discovery, unwavering discipline, and the clever application of strategy. I know with absolute certainty that you can do this. I've witnessed people completely transform their entire lives, moving from average to extraordinary simply by shifting how they approach their work and their worth. You now have the tools. The secrets that once seemed reserved for the elite are out in the open. The only question that remains is, are you actually going to use them? I want you to pick just one thing from this video, only one, and I want you to commit to it today. Whether it's the physical act of putting your phone in another room to reclaim your focus or blurting out your next chapter on a blank page, take that first step right now. Action is the only bridge between a dream and a reality. If you enjoyed this deep dive into academic mastery, please hit that like button. It truly supports a small creator like me. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next session on building your best life. And I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me, what is your why? I'll be reading and replying to as many as possible. Keep dreaming, keep working, and always remember, you are your only limit.